Okay, this thing pair share is instructive because this is maybe kind of the pinnacle of this type of conversion here. Um, so this is when you're presented with just a data set and nothing else is given to you. Okay. So you have to just take a data set and from that just analyze it with everything. You're responsible for gathering all the information that you need from that data set. So we'll use this example for that. So in a laboratory experiment, the number of tomatoes on 15 tomato plants were counted. The dot plot below represents the sample data collected. So, um, so each one of these data points is a tomato plant. And so on this tomato plant, there were 10 tomatoes. On this tomato plant, there were 11 tomatoes. Over here, there were 3 plants with 15 tomatoes growing on each one, and so on. So, presented with this, we're going to use the calculator in order to help us through this one. So you'd want to put in your list of values and then your list of frequencies. So list of unique datums, list of frequencies for each unique datum. And then the first thing we need to do is calculate the mean and the sample standard deviation. So let's go ahead and do that. So let me show you first. I've entered in the unique datums and the frequencies there. So I'll hit the stat button again, and we want to do one variable stats. Okay, list one and list two. That looks right. Okay, this will give me a new value of X bar and a new value of the sample standard deviation. That's now going to be stored in these two variables in this calculator. So I'm going to need that here in a minute. But let's go ahead and write that down. So we've got what X bar is 15 and the sample standard deviation is 2.8 and some change. So let me put that in there. So 2.8, and it just keeps going. All right, NumWorks calculator. So go to the statistics app, unique datums, frequencies for each of the unique datums. And now all you got to do is go up to the stats tab, click OK, and then scroll down until you get to sample mean here. Don't confuse that with the population mean, but sample mean. And we need the sample standard deviation. Don't confuse that with the population standard deviation. Okay. They've got the variables here to distinguish between population and sample. Okay. Now we're going to need these, so let's go ahead and store these in capital M for mean, and then lowercase s for sample standard deviation. So I'm going to store this first. So I have this cell selected. So I'm going to hit Shift and then this X to the Y key so I can use this orange arrow here. And I want to store that in capital M. So to get a capital M, it's Shift Alpha 7. Okay. And then I want to store this in S, so I'll hit Shift X to the Y. And I want to store that in lowercase s. So now I just hit alpha by itself and 5, execute. Okay. Coincidentally, if you want to check and see what values are stored in what variables, let me get out of this just to be sure. Let me go to calculation. If you hit the variable button, the var button right here, kind of just below the power button, see, I think you can hit expressions. Okay, and here's our value of M and here's our value of S. So it's 2.828427. It expresses it as a fraction because it's trying to give the most accurate representation of the number possible. Might see if I can figure out how to change that to decimal. But anyway, that's the same number. Okay, so let me go back home, go back to statistics and click OK. All right, so I stored this in variable m, and I stored this in lowercase s. All right. Okay, now we want to program the Texas Instruments and the NumWorks calculator to calculate z-scores. All right. So remember the formula for z-scores is z equals x minus x bar over s. Okay, so let's come over here and let's go back to the list editor. So stat button, edit menu, edit option. I want to program list 3. So x minus x bar divided by s. So I'm going to put my numerator in parentheses. So the value of x is going to be my values in list 1 minus x bar. So I can find that under variables, stats. There's my x bar divided by variables, statistics, sx. All right. So let's do something similar to that with the NumWorks calculator here. So I'm going to go up to V2, hit OK, but fill with a formula, make it empty. And I kind of want to enter very much the same thing, but just different variables. So I need V1, that's my values of x. So V is right here, so shift alpha V1 minus the mean, and I stored that shift alpha, put that in capital M, divided by lowercase s. So to get lowercase, I just hit alpha by itself and 5. And if I hit execute, okay, I get this list of values. So these are all z-scores related to these datums with units of tomatoes, number of tomatoes. And then over here, if I hit enter, you can see we're getting the exact same numbers. Okay, so let's come back over to this problem here. And what you would do is you would just enter all these in. Okay, so let me go ahead and do that. Negative 1.77, negative 1.41, negative 1.06, negative 0.71, negative 0.35, 0, okay, because 15 was our mean, right? So we should expect a z-score of 0 at our sample mean. Let's see, 16 is 0.35, 17 is 0.71, then 1.06, 1.41, 1.77. And then we'll go ahead and plot these. So we're going to have negative 1.77. So it's going to be somewhere right about there. Oh boy. Okay. Let's see here. We've got negative 1.41. So negative 1.41, negative 1.06. So sorry, my version of Microsoft Word is kind of moving my points around, so this will be a little off. I think you'll forgive me here. Okay, and then we need 2 at negative 0.35. So 1 there, and one there. Okay, 3 at 0. Okay, 2 at 0.35. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's see here. 1 at 0.71. 1 at 1.06. 1 at 1.41. And 1 at 1.77. Okay, now hopefully you can agree that if my points hadn't shifted around, okay, this distribution shape that I have here is the same distribution shape that I had originally. Okay. So, that's how to do it from, start to finish, um, given just here's your sample data, now go. Okay. And this is, full instructions on how you can do it with your calculator. Now you have a video to go along with it. Okay. Let me know if you have any questions.